PAC-MAN 99. Игра уже Battle Royale. Недавно вышла в Nintendo. Вот. Обычно, короче, игры не... Что забавно? Вообще, все игры, которые бесплатны в Nintendo, они типа не требуют подписки. И можно играть в онлайн, типа, без подписки. Но почему-то вот Pac-Man 99, он бесплатный, и при этом он требует подписки. Так что, в принципе, я сейчас взял подписку, но что-то мне стало лень играть в него. Поэтому по ходу разберемся. В принципе, тут ничего сильно отличающегося от Марио 35 и там Tetris 99.
So there are going to be a lot of similarities between this game and the original Pac-Man, such as if Pac-Man hits a ghost, that's
У раннера
and since it's a battle royale, we don't have lives.
забавный такой спинчик стоит.
Power pellet, they'll all turn blue and we can eat them just fine. No, simple, basic stuff like that. Like those are the two most obvious.
Ну, ребят, кстати, короче, да, готовьтесь. Тут можно, как вы увидите, справа можно целиться на разных игроков. У нас экран с 98 игроками. Да.
Looks like one's, in the lower left corner right there, one just got sent. So at the start of the game, they will be completely stationary.
И суть этой игры в том, что, короче, нам мешают другие игроки.
So watch out for that. And the way you send jammers is that you need to build ghost
combos. Вот как видите,
so by eating a power pellet, you can eat, a bunch of ghosts in a row, and the longer that combo gets, the more jammers you send to other people.
Появляются мешающих факторов на экране. Вот. Мы еще призраков можем кушать. Ну, в общем-то, Pac-Man такой классический стелс-персонаж. Кушает всех со спины. Тут, в принципе, можно стоять на месте. Да. Так сказать, выжидать момента. Он взял синий пауэрап, который всех призраков делает. Как много призраков, кстати, стало. Вот в этом, кстати, вся забава вот этих режимов по Battle Royale. Особенно в Марио, короче, в Марио вообще непонятно, что происходило на экране в какой-то момент, потому что там просто игра, она накидывала огромное количество врагов. Просто колоссальная. Так, ну этот самый, раннер сейчас еще бережет последнюю штучку. Ну-ка.
The different mazes in Pac-Man. So like this would be maze number 2, where we get the strawberry instead of the cherries.
Да, это змейка из призраков. И ждет.
You'll see me advance using those quite frequently. Also, we should talk about these guys that have just started to spawn. These are red jammers. And they're kind of like white jammers in that they'll try to, attack Pac-Man. But the main difference is
уже второй раунд тем временем.
Pac-Man, that's game over. They're essentially...
Мне кажется, раннеры не очень хавают пока что. Вот на Тетрисе там был вообще большой оверстимейт, потому что раннеры просто задушили. Вот на Тетрисе, Тетрис сложно вообще. Например, на Марио там была гоночка на 4, и... Так, опять же используют вот эти вот пауэрапы, чтобы делать призраков синими и хавать их. И осталось, кстати, 10 игроков. Всего. И смотрите, короче, вот эти 10 игроков, они уже почти, по-моему, тут человек 6 зафокусили раннера. Но это, кстати, на самом деле в какой-то мере хорошо, потому что вот, как видите, у него типа контратака и режим скорость, а вот сейчас режим тренировка. Короче. Когда он контратакует, он наносит, так сказать, он мешает игрокам более эффективно. Потому что он как бы ему игра такого преимущества дает. Небольшое. Ну и в принципе, чем больше у него фрагов, тем больше он урона наносит. Ну, то есть тем эффективнее он, короче, накидывает. Вот. И вот сейчас все, кого он хавает, они отправляются к другим игрокам и портят им игру.
They're in frenzy mode right now. Nice. Yeah, we'll explain frenzy mode a little bit later.
Так, я включил frenzy мод. Спамит на кнопке скоростной режим, чтобы бафать скорость вражеским. Ну, то есть другим игрокам, чтобы накидывало скорость на игру. Тут несколько режимов, как можно мешать. То есть сильнее, тренировка, скорость, стандарт. Вот. Так.
Yeah, there's a good amount of leniency with when it allows people to get in.
Ну-ка, сейчас он этот пояс сожрет. Осталось 3 игрока, по-моему. Только не 3. Осталось... Ну да. По-моему, 3. Или 2.
4 different ways you can target people: counter, random, hunter, and knockout. Counter is usually what I gravitate towards most of the time, and that basically just means you attack whoever is attacking you. Yeah. Perfect.
Nice.
Так, он взял первое место. Изи.
Alright. Oh, it was a computer in second. Nice. Alright, cool.
That could have been close.
На втором месте был как компьютер.
But yeah, so in terms of targeting people, counter basically just attacks everyone who's targeting you.
Ясно, боты залетели.
Random is random, as you might expect. Big surprise there. Then there's also knockout.
Неплохо, прямо первые, так сказать, 6 минут раннер уже взял. Топ-1.
What the game actually considers close to getting knocked out, but it apparently works.
Зацените, как много сразу игроков затаргетило нашего раннера. Уже типа сколько тут? 7 сразу.
We can talk about badges in a bit, but instead let's change topics to the different game styles. So on the left, you can kind of see the different game styles. So there's stronger, there's standard, there's speed, and there's train. Do one of you guys want to talk about the pros and cons of each?
Yep, I'll go on to speed. So speed makes you go quite a lot faster, but at the trade-off of red jammers going faster and you being in general weaker.
Yeah, so like your attacks won't be nearly as powerful.
Ну понятно, раннер просто кемперит. Стоит на одном месте.
Now if I was on standard or something, I might send 10 jammers to people. But if I'm on speed, it might only send like, what, 7? Something like that? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you switch to
Дядя Сэм.
when you go through the sleeping,
у него шляпа-то
they all add
соответствующая.
to the end of other ghosts to form those trains. But if you have the train effect active when you go through,
он сейчас трейн, он сейчас будет поезд жрать и контратаковать сразу просто целую кучу игроков. Просто лютая контратака пошла. Просто так, нифига себе.
And as a further trade-off, the weight jammers actually stick to PAC-MAN longer than usual if you have train active as well.
Exactly.
So that's something you have to watch out for.
Yeah, you don't want to have train on the entire time.
Yeah, and then stronger is one of the ones I will not be using today. because in my opinion it's the worst. So as you might expect, it does make your attacks stronger, so you'll send way more jammers to people if you have it active. But every time you activate it, it will make the power pellet timer last only 3 seconds. So you don't have very long to build combos. And on top of that, it will permanently decrease your speed level by 1. So since I like prioritizing my speed, and this is ESA of course, so we like to go fast, that's not great. It has its uses, but I just refuse to use it.
I only ever use it on round 1.
Yeah.
No other rounds.
Yeah, another thing we should probably touch up on is you only change game styles anytime you go through a power pellet, so it doesn't immediately shift to speed when I want it to.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so like right there, since I had speed active as I ate that power pellet, that told the game, oh, okay, you want to play the speed style. Nice.
Вообще, кстати, мировой рекорд это 3 минуты 27 секунд. Если что.
Yeah, it's very nice like that.
Я понимаю, что это шоу-кейс, но типа...
We should also probably talk about badges.
Ну, в смысле, Battle Royale. Тут он просто несколько раз будет показывать Battle Royale.
So in Tetris 99, you collected badges by knocking people out. Every time you got one, it boosted your defense as well as your offense.
И в принципе...
Whereas in this game, it only increases your defense. Like, they're literally called defensive badges in this game. So,
блин, я не так сделал, конечно.
With each badge you get, you're essentially safe from getting sent to jammers. So if you look at the...
Ну это так же, чтобы не сверяться с эстиматом, а просто сверяться с таймером раннера. То есть, как видите, он там в конце... или ему не показывают, кстати. Должны показывать премию, с которым он побеждает. Ну, в принципе, вот он первый раз он взял первое место за 6 минут лишним. Что-то раннер немного напрягся.
That was really impressive.
Go on.
Good job.
Yeah, he has about 3 badges right now. The defense badges work.
Так, опять же, ждем момента. Так, а тут красные вот эти пасти, лучше не кушать. Не трогать вообще.
If they do not pass the threshold, they will not appear on your board.
Так, это капс в чате.
So you do want more badges so that your defense is increased. I'm just in awe of this gameplay right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so like the most you can block at once is 8 jammers, or a combo of 8. Let's go, baby, 2 for 2.
Easy.
Oh, good job. Let's go.
Отлично, он взял первое место? За сколько? Результаты хотя бы покажи. Ну, кстати, по-моему, тоже за 6 минут. Да, так что, в принципе, одинаково.
Well, I can definitely talk about some stuff to do with donations, like a charity that you all lovely people are donating for, and we are currently sitting at $53,747 that go to Save the Children. Save the Children was the first global organization solely to solving children's needs.
Жалко, время не показывает, там надо статистику открывать.
Only child-focused organization working in the hardest to reach places where it's toughest to be a child. As a result, Save the Children's teams have been proactive in preparedness for pandemic threats. A bit about what they can do with the money that you donate. Like $500 can provide a child-friendly spaces kit in the US to ensure children in a shelter during an emergency have a safe place to play and be kids. Or $1,000 can pay for the construction of a village school, giving the gift of education to children who might otherwise not be able to access it. And speaking of villages, if we, by the end of this marathon, so by the end of the last run, which is GeoGuessr, reach $60,000 in total. We will have a bonus
Там говорят,
of
что если
resident
70 тысяч
village.
наберут, то
So
резик
we
покажет.
do want to get there, so please keep your
Там у раннера
sorry, keep your donations coming.
свет вырубали, поэтому они решили,
Yeah,
что
please keep them coming, guys. It's a
Да.
really great cause.
дадут еще шанс.
Alright, so I
Десятка,
think it's
ну,
time we address the elephant in the room.
неважно.
You
Короче,
guys may have noticed that in the early
донатьте.
game, all I
Да.
do is chill in this part of the map here.
Передавайте
That's
привет
mainly
нам,
because I
донаты, да.
use the stall strats for this game. Now there are a couple different strategies you can use throughout the entire game. I prefer to stall though. So like we mentioned earlier, the later into the rounds you get, the shorter the power pellet timer will be. So like the less time you have to go and eat the ghosts, and the less time you have for guaranteed safety from them. So what I like doing is stall in to make sure we don't reach those rounds too quickly.
Так,
Now some people actually
ничего себе.
clear as many boards as they can and get all the speed boosts they possibly can in that time.
Ой-ой-ой.
So they're more prepared
Как
for
он
if
это
they go
делает
to
вот в
later
самый
rounds.
последний момент? Это
But me personally, I
ужасно.
prefer to
Это очень
not
больно
get to the later
смотреть.
rounds at all, and that's why I prefer stalling. And the reason you can stall in that part of the map there is actually kind of tied into the original Pac-Man, where you it has these certain safe spots. So like in the original Pac-Man, ghosts can't immediately go up through those
Всё,
two
пошёл
doors
паровоз.
right above the ghost house once they leave. So like they can't go up this way. They can only come from the top
Покушали,
and going down.
покушали.
So by standing in that part of the map, all I really need to do is watch what the ghosts are doing above me to know if I need to leave or not, which is very nice, to an extent.
So that only applies in the first minute and a half or so? Is that correct?
First minute and a half, yep.
Yeah, so for the first minute and a half of each game, the main ghosts are not allowed to go up and down those.
Так, собирает.
And then after that minute and a half,
Призрак
you will
начинает
see
кушать.
blue-green arrows that indicate that those ghosts are allowed to go there.
Так.
Yeah, this game actually like has some like really boy.
Ой-ой-ой, это опасно было. Чуть на красную не налетел. Мог бы отъехать.
What were we saying?
We were
Sorry,
talking
something
about
like
the
flashed
arrows.
before my eyes
Yeah,
real
we were
quick.
talking- yeah.
И не отъехал,
There's
кстати.
certain timing
Отлично,
rules you need to
отлично.
watch out for in this game because they're like very consistent. So like after a minute, I mentioned earlier that the white jammers, when they first show up, are totally stationary. After you're 1 minute into,
У него, кстати, нету больше глушилок.
that's
А
when
вот
they'll start
пара
moving.
появляется.
And
Отлично.
that will always happen a minute into the game.
О,
After 2
да.
minutes have passed, that's when the red jammers can show up.
Так.
And then after a minute and a half is when the stall and trick.
И
where
тут уже
the
мало
ghosts will
игроков,
follow
кстати,
you,
осталось.
into that part of the map from both ways. That no longer can be done. So at that point, we actually do need to move around.
Ну,
so
в принципе, да,
knock
где-то
out
6
that ghost.
минут и хватает, чтобы
There are a
закончить
couple
игру
of
в
other ones too,
Pac-Man.
like
Среднем.
sometimes white jammers will spawn randomly even if no one attacks you, and they will. That's kind of like an anti-camping
То
mechanism.
есть,
that
я
the game
думаю,
has.
за 2 минуты он сейчас закончит очередной показ. Очередную
Where, like,
катку.
every 30 seconds from the 2-minute mark onward, a bunch of white jammers will spawn usually in whatever quadrant of the maze Pac-Man is in. And they can be pretty annoying because they'll like spawn just out of nowhere sometimes and you can't really do anything about it. And if you're in a quadrant that doesn't have a power pellet, then you might be screwed if there are any ghosts nearby.
Yeah, so a little tip to think about is that if you do aim to clear the
Так, взял фрукт.
of all pellets, you want to go quadrant by quadrant.
Неплохо.
That's what you want to do at least.
Ну тут все красными.
I know I've seen
Очень
some
много
people play this
красных.
game and they've just been zooming around and
Очень много красных, очень агрессивно играют.
basically,
Yeah, what you do need to collect
Против
pellets if you want the, fruit
Uncle
spawn.
Slema.
Yeah, because the fruit only spawns once half of the maze is clear of pellets. Yes, like right now the fruit isn't there, and that's because like only one quadrant is clear. So of course we have most of the pellets still on the board. Okay, this is a little sketch.
Вот это опасно.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything is fine.
there are people in
Жесть.
the chat that are mentioning that this game, or reminding us to tell you guys that this game is free. Actually, it is Pac-Man 99 is free on Nintendo on the Nintendo Store. There are these skins of the boards that
Говорят, Pac-Man 99 бесплатно в Nintendo Store. Только вам надо 200 рублей подписку иметь, чтобы играть в бесплатный Pac-Man. Ой, ничего себе.
Okay, so it looked there that like I just directly hit Pinky. I think it was Pinky, or like one of the jammers or something, and I survived. So that right there is called the corner dodge.
Ну тут побольше, чем 6 минут уже.
Turn a corner at just the right time.
Что-то раннера прям душили в этом бою.
And that actually is a feature that kind of, sort of,
неравная сила.
Used to be in the original Pac-Man. Well, still is in the original Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad I got to show that off, because like that is not easy to do.
Yeah,
like,
that part is all about timing.
Yeah, because at the lowest speed, you have 1 frame to pull that off. My goodness.
I've gotten it.
Oh my goodness.
Before, so I think it is.
Yeah. Definitely.
Do we have time for donations?
Go for it.
Wonderful. We do have $25 from Anonymous without a message and $20 from Legend Hoa without a message. Thank you very much. And we have $5 from Tragonis saying, awesome event like always. So happy to be here again. Thanks for all the hard work and thanks to the runners as well. Keep it going, guys. Put this to RE Village. Let's get that RE Village run, guys. Yes, I do agree with that. Let's get that RE Village run. It is
Definitely.
a $60 total amount that we need to get. So how about we give a smaller milestone for now, and let's say get 54.5 by the end of this run. So let's go, Chad. We can do it.
Let's do it, guys. I believe. Yeah, the more ESA, the better. So let's get that extra run. I guess this would be a good time to talk about the different ghost behaviors too. So if you're familiar with the original Pac-Man, you might know that all the ghosts have their own behaviors that they like to follow. So like Blinky is like always the most aggressive. He'll try to, just make a beeline for Pac-Man.
Райан рассказывает.
Pinky in general will try to cut him off, so like she'll go wherever he's facing most of the time. And then Inky
как в оригинальном Pac-Man у призраков, у каждого призрака у них там типа свои паттерны поведения. И там какой-то агрессивный, короче, более кто-то наоборот старается бегать. Вот.
And it's because of that actually that most of the time when I get ghost trains like this one, I don't want it to be Clyde, because a lot of the time when you eat a power pellet, Clyde will just be on the opposite end of the map. And if he has the train, then it's like really hard to get combos with it, because then you have to go all the way over to wherever he is. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, the ghost trains, when you eat the sleeping ghost, will automatically go to the closest ghost.
In proximity, yes.
Exactly. Or if all of the ghosts are in the ghost house at the time, they'll just go to Blinky, because why not?
Automatically, yeah.
Yep.
Which is convenient. It really helps to know these behaviors, so that you can calculate your path and your strategies for the upcoming boards. You can see here as well that not all boards are completely full. You're gonna encounter a lot of 3/4 boards. You're gonna encounter
Отлично.
full boards. You're even going to encounter an
Ну, пока что достаточно чистый экран. При этом 18 игроков всего осталось. Да. Чем будет ягоду брать? Ягода. Отлично. Так, не жадничай, это ожидает сразу.
When I get to ghost trains, a lot of the time I'll try to eat like 1 or 2 ghosts at a time instead of just like blazing through, and that is another stall tactic. We call it pecking in the community. Since you're just kind of like pecking away at the ghosts instead of like blazing through, because if you like just go straight through a chain, then it won't take like any time at all to get through. But if you like only do 1 or 2 at the time, there is a little bit of a cooldown for like when the pace you eat the ghosts picks up. So like I'll try to in a bit here.
Тут немного будет вот эту паузу, которую игру дает. То есть он, короче, укусил и назад отошел, укусил, назад отошел, когда он вот эти поезда из призраков кусает. Он может обузить паузу.
But if you can also see, whenever you get that power pellet, there is a timer that counts down. That's right on top of the ghost house right there. It just counts down. It gets, like Slam mentioned earlier, it gets shorter and shorter with each round.
Потому что если сразу влететь в ряд, то игра не так... Вот видите, игра такая для больше, так сказать, чувства отдачи. Она так паузится немного, такая микропауза. И вот эту штуку можно продлевать, если отъезжать сюда-сюда и начинать атаковать. Но сейчас он просто уже жрет паровоза, потому что он хочет конкретно засрать там экран всем игрокам. Тут, типа всем игрокам, тут типа один игрок остался против него. То есть он уже просто кушает на полную, просто жрет, отжирает. Ну сейчас, да, туда-сюда будет паузу и закидал, короче, игрока. Хорош.
Top 2. Not a single game that has gone out of the top 2 so far. Alright, so now, so far, you guys have seen me play with 2 hands. But have you ever seen someone play with only 1? And if not, today is your lucky day. So while I move my webcam real quick, Mod, do you have anything to tell us right now?
Oh, I can talk a bit more about what's coming up next. Because after this wonderful showcase of PAC-MAN 99, we will also have some more, some more strategic gaming, some more dexterity gaming with Tetris Effect connected. So do look forward to that as well. But before we get to that, as I said, I do want to get to those $45,500 by the end of this run. So please, chat, make it happen. Because did you know that if you donate, you can also...
Но раннер показывает нам как раз свои руки, как он играть будет.
We do have some wonderful prizes for you to win. Like for a $10 minimum donation, you can get a Bomberman Perla Beat Sprite. Or for a $30 minimum donation, a This Is The Run custom ESA themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller. It looks really awesome. You might have seen it in the box below the webcam. It's scrolling through there. Or you can go to prizes.esamarathon.com to watch all of the prizes that we have there with their respective minimum donation. And these are all accumulative. So if you've already donated like $5 and you want that Pro controller, then it's just another 25 for you to get in the running for that.
Perfect.
Он одной рукой играет. Он одной рукой.
So, fortunately, a lot of this game is already one-handed. Since most of it is just moving around the maze with the D-pad or the left stick. I prefer to use the D-pad personally, but to each their own. So all you really need the right Joy-Con for is changing who you target, which I pretty much always stick with counter anyway. And changing your gameplay style. It's like anytime I want to switch from, from train style to speed style, I'll be...
Ой, сейчас там неудачно его атакуют.
Simple stuff like that. Unfortunately, since the first, minute and a half or so is just, waiting around here, it's a pretty chill start to the game anyway. Oh yeah, right there. So the ghosts turn around like that. We call that frenzy mode. I think the technical term is scatter mode from the original Pac-Man. But yeah, I believe it's 25 seconds, all the ghosts will turn around, which indicates that they have entered frenzy mode. And when they do that, they all try to go to their respective corners, and each of them have their own. So Pinky's in the upper left, Blinky's in the upper right.
Говорят, короче, раз в какое-то время тут у призраков аишника так закожен, что они типа разбредаются там по своим углам. Забавно. Так, он контратакует. Хватает френзи. Замораживает вообще всех.
Because like once frenzy mode's over, they will turn around again, and if you're not ready for that, then it can be a bad time overall.
It's messed me up a lot, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. And another aspect we can talk about is Cruise Elroy. This is another kind of advanced part of the original Pac-Man, where if there are few enough pellets on the screen, he will enter a state
И осталось 22 игрока.
And in addition to that, he won't be affected by frenzy mode at all. It's like he won't, meander off to his own corner or anything like that. Like, no, he will just like always try to...
Ну и раннер просто ждет. Тут красные пакманы начали появляться. Это неприятно. Короче, с красными пакманами могут быть проблемы. Потому что если мы наступим на них, мы умрем. Вот их подкидывают другие игроки нам.
So you can take that opportunity to maybe clear some more pellets, make your way to another power pellet, and also just to clarify, it helps to know. I mean, we already mentioned it helps to know the behaviors of these ghosts.
10 игроков осталось.
A lot of people are confusing Blinky with the blue ghost.
Ну раннера, кстати, мало кошек, у него всего два фрага, грубо говоря. Так. Он играет чисто через контратаку, он не стремится кого-то задушить. Просто показывает, как он играет в Пак-Мана, что интересно.
Alrighty. Nice, getting some KOs up in here. Love it, love it. Switch to speed. Yeah, usually when I play one-handed, I will tend to, once we get to the top 10 or however many people, I'll just stick with speed. Another thing I want to be careful of is that if you're on your last power pellet,
так, ну тут в принципе много ресурсов. Вот, можно вот этих призраков кушать, фармить. Окей, проблемы начались, он как бы кушает много фруктов. Еще один фрукт.
Alright, so we still have a bit of time left this ESA. Let me fix my webcam again. There we go. Lovely. And one very nice part about the DLC is that you get private matches.
И вот так вот он
This came for free in Tetris 99, but you have to pay for it here. But if you have the DLC, this is absolutely your time to shine and potentially play a game on ESA. So if you at home have the DLC, please feel free to hop in. So we're just gonna set, a random password. Let's go 5, then 19, then 1, and then 99. So if you guys want to join, now's your chance.
И, чуваки, он показывает свой пароль. Вы можете присоединиться к нему. Можно, кстати, тоже, наверное, скачать Пак-Мана, набежать. Я думаю, он меня развалит. Я бы лучше в Тетрис или Марио поиграл.
We do have $20 from Mr. Mini without any comment, but thank you very much. We have $50 from Ugo saying, what was this about Resident Evil Village? I think we can get closer to that. And we have a whopping $200 from Papa Torren saying, waited so long for this event. Good luck, all runners. Much love. And we have an additional 20 from Legend Hoa saying, let's go. And with that, we are over $54,000.
Let's go, guys.
Thank you very much for that. So my personal goal was 54,500 at the end of this run. We still need $413 for that. Can we get that during this final match? Please make it happen, chat. Please.
Let's do it. Yeah, so the nice thing about 799 of the passwords for each lobby is that it will completely get rid of the computer players. If lobbies aren't full enough in general for the public lobbies, they will just fill the rest of the slots with computers. But since we took the computers out, we immediately started with 10 with 8 players. So thank you everyone who decided to join.
Yeah.
You're all wonderful people. Yeah, so you can kind of hear that the music just like immediately started to play the.
Раннер играет вот против тех 8 игроков, которые к нему присоединились.
No one is safe.
Ну что же вы, Бэтмены, расшикляйте свои свечи, присоединяйтесь к дяде Сламу. Надо его развалить. Реквестирую всех гениев чата. Просто.
And my brain just goes into overdrive. So, instead of starting off with the normal song in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like the ghosts are moving faster or anything either. It's like, yeah, no, they're going the same speed they do in normal games.
Exactly.
Как он неинтересный.
Freaking out for no reason because this is just round 1.
Ну так. Он типа, на самом деле, для своего времени он вообще очень круто сделал. Что, типа вот эти призраки с разными моделями поведения. Что-то вот эти лабиринтики. Вака-вака-вака-вака-вака. Ну, наверное, Тетрис прикольнее играть. Ну, Тетрис, кстати, скоро будет. В общем-то. Ну, там, правда, Тетрис эффект. Свеча, был бы свич, показал бы скилл. Ну, свич вайп всего 13 тысяч по скидке. Залетайте в свич братства. Играть не весело. Да. Не знаю, мне нравится вот это чувство, когда ты чистишь поле. В этом что-то есть.
Yeah, because when it released, at least here in the US, there was zero manual. We had to figure it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we think we have most of it.
Так, ну-ка. О, пошла порка, пошло добро. Сейчас гасит, смотрите, поезд. И контратакуют вообще по всем. Ой, он ошибся, по-моему. Ладно. Да, он, короче, случайно не туда залетел. Он сейчас, короче, всех вообще взорвет сразу. Всех нокнет. Такими темпами. Или нет? Почему никто не отлетает-то особо? А вот у него экран закидывается вообще очень сильно. Ну, опять жрет поезд, хавает фрукт, кстати, не было видно. Там заспавнился фрукт, и он почистил поле от всех красных. Вот, но красных все равно появилось очень много. Так, он ждет момента. Ну-ка. Ой, опасно было, опасно. Так. Ну давай.
You know, one of the worst things in this game is like when you like are chilling in a corner that like a ghost train is going through, but it's blocking one of the power
Берет
pellets
апельсин.
and you're thinking, wait a minute, did I eat that power pellet already? And then you go through and the ghost didn't turn blue, and then like everybody is.
Так.
Nobody's happy. Come on.
Ух, Махач. Так, ну там 5 игроков. То есть трое уже отлетели. Вот, наш мужик, типа, сделал один фраг, один пиво. Но там какие-то звери сидят, они вот вообще, они перестали его, кстати, атаковать. И грызутся друг с другом, короче. Ну, это значит, что он победит. Uncle Swam имеет шансы. Да.
Oh, the corner dodging?
The corner dodging, yes.
Бегун хай.
Just get some of this out of the way. Okay. Oh, unfortunate. Third place, though.
Отлетел очередняра. Нормально.
Oh, Mr. Mini got me out.
Ну все,
Yeah, shouts to
все.
Mr. Mini.
4-е место.
Who's gonna be the winner?
Who can say? Who can say?
Он может, кстати,
Yeah,
по-моему,
while this
следить
game
за
wraps up,
другими
I just
игроками.
want to give out some quick shout-outs. So, first off,
Ну,
thank
в
you
принципе,
to
это
Dan,
эстимейт
me
закончился.
and my co-commentators. I really
Так
appreciate
что
you.
врубай.
GG. Yeah, I really
Да.
appreciate you guys being here.
Ну, это те
They're
самые
both great players, so you
комьюнити
guys should definitely give them a
игр.
follow on Twitch.
Короче.
That's AMA Dan and Captain Main. They're great people, great players. So shouts to them. Thank you guys for being here. I also want to shout out Pink Sal, who was supposed to be one of my co-commentators, but sadly could not make it work. So shout outs to her. And also just a couple names here: Crowdy, John Nash, Big Joe, High Score Wins, Josh, Legend Hoa, Master A1, Mr. Danger, Mr. Mine, Pinheads, Ronkly, Secret Play, Space Fitman. You guys are all awesome. They've been very supportive of this game getting into ESA. So just thanks to all of you. Also, big shout out to the Japanese community. This game has a very, very strong Japanese community. And I definitely want to shout them out because they are some insanely good players. So those guys are awesome too. And of course, thanks to ESA for allowing us to do this. This has honestly been a surreal experience. I've been watching ESA for years, so being able to show a game on the big stage has been absolutely wonderful. So thank you guys for having me. One quick thing I want to plug here is that Dan and I have actually recently started a PAC-MAN 99 league. So if any of you are interested in maybe joining that, let one of us know. We'll hook you up. It doesn't matter what your skill level is. You could have been playing this game since day one. You could have just recently got into it. Doesn't matter. We'd love to have you. So yeah, definitely.
Вот такой вот шоу-кейс, ребят, показали вам PAC-MAN 9. Если нравится, играйте.
No, I think I'm good.
Если приятно смотреть, смотрите.
Thank you
Perfect, yeah, if you
so
get-
much for that showcase. It was
Ну, это не
really
overestimate, в принципе.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys like
Тут
this game,
просто
I
таймер
do stream it
стопнуть
regularly on my
поздно.
channel. We do private lobbies, public lobbies, the whole shebang. So if you guys are interested in that, consider giving a follow.
Uncle Sam говорит,
For
вот
now,
на канал
if
к
you're
нему
interested in
заходите,
that,
он крутит это дело часто.
Again, thanks for the showcase. Thanks for the commentary, Dan and Captain Mang. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed this. And now we will have a quick intermission where our very own Polister will tell you to buy some merch at the start, and then we will be back with a Judesoft playing Tetris Effect Connected. So stay tuned.
right on.
Have you checked